Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and this time I am reviewing the Blu-ray set of Waxwork 1 and 2 from Vestron, collectors, the collector series that they're doing. And yes, I did buy this myself with my own money, and it was worth it. I have a lot of good things to say about this. I really wanted this. Both of these are childhood favorites of mine. I love both of these movies. In fact, I'm even a bigger fan of Waxwork 2. I think that's an extremely underrated sequel. But I love the first one. I think they're both great low budget movies. They do a lot with the little money that they have. And I have one gripe with the Blu-ray set, but other than that, it's a damn good set. If you're at all a fan of these movies, this is definitely worth getting. It's definitely worth purchasing. One quick note, my one gripe is the second movie. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like in certain parts of the movie, in certain parts, the color seems a little bit dim, a little bit muted. Not to the point like, oh my god, I can't watch the film anymore, and how, it still looks fairly good. It definitely looks better than the DVD. It looks sharper, it looks clearer, and it's still fine to watch. But it's just there's certain parts that look little, it's just a little bit dim, a little bit muted of a color. Maybe it's just me, although there is another site, one called Why So Blue, and some others that mention the same thing. And what's funny is if you look at some of the features on the first disc that show clips of the second film, as well as the trailer to the second film, the color seems a little bit more crisper. So yeah, it's not horrible, terrible. Oh my god, they ruined. It's not like the Moontrap Blu-ray, which that wasn't color. It was just everything else. By Oliver Treacle. It's not like that. So, but it's. I wish the color was a little bit better on Waxwork 2 throughout the entire film. And yeah, it seems like some scenes are okay, and then some scenes are just a little bit muted and a little bit dim. Because I didn't notice that at all with the first film. The first film is an older movie, but again, it's not terrible, it's not awful or anything like that. It's just there's some parts that seems a little bit. Yeah, just weird the trailer and it looked like some of the clips on the disc of the first movie because those are where the featurettes are at. Seems like the movie when they show clips in Waxwork 2, seems like the color sparks a little bit more than. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But other than that, everything else is very well done. I like this. It reminds me of when I had, well, I still have the DVD, which had the same, showing both covers. And I like that it's clear because a lot of times these are blue, but I like that it's a clear case. I think that's nice. It might not seem much, but it makes it a little bit different. Also, you can have one side look like Waxwork 1 with a front and a back. Or you can flip it and it look like Waxwork 2, the front and the back. So I think that's cool. So when I do reviews, it'll be much easier. So when I do Waxwork 2, I can show that. And when I do Waxwork 1, I think that's pretty cool. I think some people don't like it. I do. I think that's pretty cool. And I also like the fact that these are released separately on a disc. It's not both movies on one disc, which I appreciate. And also there's artwork on here, which I appreciate as well. The first film looks great on Blu-ray, sharp. It's the best I've seen the film look. And it is the unrated version. Not only because it says it on the back, but I watched the film and it is the unrated cut that was on the VHS way back in the day. and both are in widescreen, and it's definitely the sharpest I've ever seen the films look. So they do overall look pretty damn good on Blu-ray. Again, my only gripe is the second film. I wish the color throughout the entire film was a little bit more. Like certain scenes with red or yellow seem nice, but then other scenes just like there's a sequence in Waxwork 2 where right before they first enter the portal of time, and they had that little compass thing, and they're looking through all the trinkets. Oh, there's a bloody hockey mask and all that. That's like one scene you see how the color seems a bit dim. So if you're watching this, that's like one of the scenes I'm talking about where it seems like the color seems a little bit low. But yeah, other than the presentation, the films look great. Both of them have commentaries with Anthony Hickox and Zach Galligan, both in the same room. They're very funny, very entertaining commentaries. No dead air. They have a lot of energy, and they seem pretty proud of these films. Let's see. You also each one has you can listen to the score of the film without any dialogue or effects. And there's like a little audio interview on each one with the composer of the films. On Waxwork 1, you have the Waxwork Chronicles, which is a 6-part making of. And thankfully, there is a play all option. So you can just press play all, and in total, it was about an hour and 20 minutes. And I don't want to give a lot of info in it away so that if people do get it, then they'll get surprised by the info or whatever. But as to who was involved, the some of the effects guys, Zach Galligan, Anthony Hickox, no Deborah Foreman, and for what I understand, and one of the features they mentioned how she was actually Anthony Hickox's girlfriend, the director at the time this was being made. Then they broke up, which is probably why she didn't do part two. The only actors from the first one, you get Zach Galligan, you get the guy who, I think Dana Ashbrook is the guy's name. He's a guy who gets into the portal. He's in the time of where the werewolf scene happens. The guy who played the Marquis de Sade, and then one of the guy vampires they get interviewed. Waxwork 2, Bruce Campbell gets interviewed. What was his? But there's some. Let's see, Bruce Campbell, David Carradine, which I know is weird because he passed away in 2009, and 7 years later we have a bit of an interview that looks like it was shot last week. That's how the HD. But I was looking on YouTube, and there was a movie he did called Sundown: The Vampire Retreat, which Anthony Hickox made, and I guess on the DVD there's an interview with David Carradine, and he's wearing the same clothes and he's in the same position. So they must have asked him during that time, whenever that DVD came out, must have been, I don't know, 2007, 2008, I don't know. And then that piece was saved for now. So it's weird, like 7 years after his death, about that. And here's a new piece of interview I've never seen from David Carradine. Oh, Monica Schneider, who is the female lead in the second film, she gets interviewed. Let's see. Get some of the guys who did the effects and worked on the production of the flick. Good documentary. I mean, again, you put them all together, it's an hour and 20 minutes. So that's pretty cool. They talk about both films. On the first disc, you also get a 24-minute featurette from back in the day. Granted, a good bit of it is footage from the film, but that's how features were back in the day. And you get, when they're not showing that, you get behind the scenes from back in the day when they did Waxwork 1. And it has about 20, must have been the feature that was on the overseas DVD of Waxwork. So you get still galleries, you get a trailer for each film, and you even get the music video from Waxwork 2 on the Waxwork 2 disc, which is pretty much what the end credits were, except you don't see the text. You just see it without the text flying by, rolling by. So a lot of good stuff. I mean, quite a few commentaries on both with very entertaining commentaries. Featurettes that total up to an hour and 20 minutes. Featurette from back in the day, still galleries, trailers. I mean, it's pretty damn packed. It's pretty damn packed. And yeah, I like the presentation. I like that they're not just on one disc. So I think they did a pretty damn good job. Again, my only problem is with the sequel, there's certain spots that seem like the color's a bit dim, a bit muted. And I wish that could have been done better, color-wise muted. I wish I think that could have been done better. But either way, it's not awful, terrible. Oh my god, I can't watch it. Quite the contrary. Still better than the DVD. It's still a great upgrade from the DVD. So I'm glad to see both these films get the HD treatment. Granted, I know I'm keep repeating myself, but the color could have been better on this, but still. Really glad to have this. Really glad that finally these films got a Blu-ray release. Because for the longest time, I'm like, these films need a Blu-ray release. And other than that one issue that I've repeated quite a few times, this is still worth it. And I will review these films next. Waxwork 1, which a lot of people like. And I'm going to do some defending for Waxwork 2. Because even on, the Blu-ray forum, you had quite a few people going, oh, why did they put Waxwork 2 on there? They should have just had Waxwork 1. That's the film anyone gives a shit about. No one cares for Waxwork 2. And then you go on YouTube, IMDb, Waxwork 2 is bullshit. It's a shitty movie. They should have just released this by itself with Waxwork 1. And, no one would buy Waxwork 2 if it was by itself. They had to put it on here. And I'm like, yeah, there are people complaining that Waxwork 2 is on here. So I'm going to do some defending for that because that's a film that costs like $1 million, $2 million at most, probably less than that. And they do a lot of stuff in that movie for such a low budget. So, but I love both these movies. So I'll talk about those films later. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.